EU Enlargement Summit 2025, a strategic turning point for the future. First signs of a possible U.S. government reopening emerge. Nghệ An attracts nearly USD 1 billion in FDI in first 10 months of 2025.
Hello everyone, you're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. On November 4th, the European Union will convene the EU's Enlargement Summit in Brussels, Belgium. The event will bring together heads of states and government from the 27 member countries, along with leaders from candidate nations.
This year's approach stands out for expanding beyond evaluations of candidate nations' readiness to join. For the first time, the EU is also conducting a self-assessment of its internal capacity to adapt and reform in preparation for the next phase of enlargement, a process often referred to as pre-enlargement policy. This move underscores the Union's determination to ensure readiness on both internal and external fronts, reflecting a comprehensive and forward-looking approach to its expansion process. EU enlargement is expected to strengthen the bloc's economic and political standing, open access to markets of tens of millions of new citizens, and enhance regional security and supply chain resilience. However, the process also presents major challenges, ranging from institutional reform and budgetary pressures to the need for adjustments in the decision-making mechanism, particularly regarding member states' veto powers.
The first signs of possible breakthrough to end the long U.S. federal government shutdown appeared at the Capitol on November 3rd. Senior senators from both Republican and Democratic parties met to discuss ways to resolve the ongoing deadlock that has disrupted government operation for weeks.
Chairwoman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, Mrs. Susan Collins, announced that progress had been made as Democrats put forward specific proposals to break the impasse, with staff members from both parties working throughout the weekend. In particular, 4 moderate members of the House of Representatives, 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat, proposed extending tax credits under the Affordable Care Act for an additional 2 years. However, the plan also includes new income limits for high earners eligible for those benefits. Since October 1st, groups of Republican and Democratic senators have held several informal meetings to find a way out of the deadlock that has paralyzed the U.S. government. So far, however, no final agreement has been reached. With the shutdown dragging on, analysts warn that the U.S. government could face the longest closure in its history if no deal is reached before November 5th.
Nghệ An province has drawn nearly 1 billion USD in foreign direct investment during the first 10 months of 2025. The information was reported at the October 2025 regular meeting of the Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee, held on the morning of November 4th.
Investment attraction continues to be a bright spot in Nghệ An's socio-economic development picture. According to the report presented at the Provincial People's Committee's regular October meeting, held on November 4th. The province's foreign direct investment, FDI sector, has achieved remarkable results. Over the first 10 months of 2025, Nghệ An approved 19 new FDI projects with a total registered capital of 301.9 million USD, accounting for 30.2% of the total number of projects and 55.7% of total investment capital in the province. In addition, 15 existing FDI projects were granted capital increases, with an additional 675.3 million USD. Altogether, the total newly registered and adjusted FDI capital reached 977.2 million USD. The fact that many existing investors have expanded their capital demonstrates growing confidence in Nghệ An's investment and business environment. It is also seen as a positive signal reflecting investor satisfaction with the province's infrastructure, administrative services, and policy stability.
Coming up next are some updated news.
Nghệ An Party Secretary Nguyen Duc Trung recently chaired a standing committee meeting to review the implementation of the Politburo's Conclusion Number 81 and related central directives on building schools in border communes. He requested that land procedures, site clearance, and resources be completed to ensure the groundbreaking ceremony on November 9th. In 2025, the province plans to start construction on 10 of 21 proposed schools, including 9 in border communes. The main ceremony will be held at Han Lam Interlevel School. Secretary Nguyen Duc Trung emphasized that this is a key provincial task. Where 5 to 10 hectares of land cannot be secured, alternative plans must still ensure student safety. He also urged synchronized infrastructure development around the schools and mobilization of both central and local resources to meet the construction schedule. Preparations will be closely monitored to ensure timely completion.
The Ministry of Construction is considering expanding the Eastern North-South Expressway from 4 to 6 or 8 lanes under the Public-Private Partnership (PPP) model, with interest from 10 potential investors. The goal is to raise the maximum design speed to 120 km/h. According to the Ministry's assessment, most sections of the expressway currently in operation have favorable conditions for expansion, as land clearance was originally carried out for a 6-lane model. At present, vehicles travel at a maximum speed of 90 km/h. Expanding the expressway and increasing the maximum operating speed to 120 km/h is expected to enhance socio-economic efficiency and address existing limitations of 4-lane sections, particularly the risks of traffic congestion and accidents.
On the morning of November 4th, according to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, at 7 a.m., the storm center was located near latitude 10.7 degree N and longitude 123.5 degree E, directly over central Philippines. In the next 24 hours, the typhoon is forecast to move west-northwest at about 20 km/h. From the afternoon of November 4th, the eastern part of the Central East Sea, South China Sea, will experience increasing winds of level 6-7, later strengthening to levels 8-10. Near the storm center, winds may reach levels 11 to 13, gusting up to 15-16. Waves are expected to reach 5 to 7 meters, causing very rough seas. Between November 5 and 6, the Central East Sea, including the northern waters of the Truong Sa, Spratly Archipelago, and offshore areas from Da Nang to Can Hoa, may be affected by winds of level 12-14, with gusts exceeding level 17 and waves 8-10 meters high. Meteorological authorities warn all vessels and offshore facilities in the danger zone to urgently seek shelter.
In the era of globalization, foreign languages are increasingly becoming an essential skill, not only for communication, but also for expanding opportunities in education and employment.
In today's era of global integration, foreign languages are no longer just a means of communication, but an essential skill for expanding learning and career opportunities. From students to working professionals, more and more people are proactively improving their language skills to step confidently into the world.
My job requires frequent communication with foreign clients, so without good English skills, it's difficult to keep up. Learning a foreign language not only makes me more confident at work, but also helps me understand more about different cultures and people around the world.
Since the launch of the National Foreign Language Project, which aims to make English a second language in schools, foreign language teaching and learning have received increasing attention. Many local language centers now focus on early education, building a bilingual foundation from a young age.
After the National Foreign Language Project was implemented, both parents and students became more interested in learning English. It's a positive sign that awareness of the importance of language learning for future success is growing. Learning English helped me get into a good high school and university. I'll keep working hard to achieve my dream.
From classroom lessons to online platforms, foreign languages are becoming the bridge connecting Vietnamese people with the world. paving the way for a generation of confident, dynamic, and globally minded citizens.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.